Hey guys, what's up? My name is Dan and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be talking all about Arsenal versus Port Vale in the EFL Cup. Obviously the first round we're playing this season. Yeah, look, even home or away, this is a favourable draw for us. Kind of a typical Carabao Cup, first couple of group stages games. Um, yeah, like I said, away from home, which is quite cool. The away fans must have had a really fun time going to one of the smaller grounds. Yeah, like Port Vale had nothing really to lose in this game. They already played a couple of rounds beforehand apparently and done quite well. They're a decent team in their league, and they really gave us a little bit of a game, to be honest with you. I mean, as far as to be expected, I mean, we scored in the first 8 minutes, and that was pretty much it. I mean, it was 1-0 from nearly all the game, but we were totally in control of this game. They had no shots on target whatsoever. But yeah, I mean, as soon as that goal went in, we kind of thought, okay, this is where the floodgates are going to open, and it's going to be like a 5-6-0 win. But they kept us at bay for a large portions of the game. Having said that, we were comfortable. I mean, we never looked like we were going to concede. We never looked like we were on the back foot. We controlled the whole game. I think we had 81% possession the whole game. We just dominated them at home, and that was typical. I mean, they were quite happy for us to have the ball, quite happy for themselves to sit back deep. We had real trouble trying to break them down in the end. But yeah, Eze gets his first goal of the season, first Arsenal goal, which is fantastic for him, fantastic for us. It was a good goal. And we were quite comfortable. I mean, the whole team looked like they didn't really want to get out of first gear. They were quite comfortable just to go with the motions. It felt like a training game, a little bit, pre-season game. For pretty much the whole game for us. So I was never really angry. I was never really, anxious. I was never really scared. There's always upsets and cup sets in this kind of tournament, but yeah, they never looked like they were gonna, challenge us at all. Keba had a really comfortable game in the end. And yeah, we ended up getting a really nice win. Trossard coming off the bench again and scoring again. This is what we need to be doing with Trossard. He needs to come off the bench. He has such a powerful impact off the bench rather than starting games. Hopefully that's a lesson that Mikel Arteta has finally learned. I do not want to see him start against Newcastle, for God's sake, please. Yeah, he comes off the bench and gets a really good goal, 2-0. I think it was like 5 or 10 minutes left of the game by that point, and that was it. It was going to tweet out game over. I mean, that was it. We were waiting for the second goal from pretty much the whole of the second half, pretty much the whole game, to be honest with you. And I kind of felt like once we got to that 2-0 mark, that would have been it. And it proved to be the case, and a couple win, and that was it. It was just like a very gear one gear game. There wasn't any jeopardy. There wasn't any kind of real risk. It was just a game that we had to get through. Players like Saka starting, getting like an hour or so. He's match fit pretty much now. He looked rusty. He looked like a player that had been out for a while. Although having said that, most of our attacking run, most of our threat was down our right hand side. Martinelli as well had a decent run. I thought he had a decent game. Unlucky not to get a goal. Gyökeres as well when he came on. Max Dalman, I'll talk about him in a minute, but when he came on, he had a really good chance to make it 2-0. Couldn't quite get there, and the keeper beat him to it. Max Dalman, 15 years old, coming off the bench. I would have liked to have seen him start this game, but I can see what Mikel Arteta's doing. He needed to give Saka a bit of chance to get back to match fitness, and we don't want to rush Dalman. We don't want to rush his development. We don't want to play him just because we're hyped on him right now. Dalman came off the bench and looked like completely at home in an Arsenal team. Didn't look like he was a 15-year-old kid at all. In one point, he did an exquisite cross pass into the feet of Gyökeres. It should have been a goal, but the keeper did well to tackle him basically. Yeah, Dalman's what a kid. Yeah, I think he's gonna get bit parts here and there this season. I think maybe towards the end of the season, injuries permitting. Hopefully we see a bit more of him. But yeah, like the crowd chanting, he's got to score in the morning, which is just hilarious. Even the commentator saying we must have the morning of score because he's playing in the Carabao Cup for Arsenal. How crazy is that? Yeah, overall comfortable win. I'm a bit blasé about it, to be honest with you. It is what it is. It would have been a huge upset if we'd lost this game. We went out with an incredibly strong starting 11. Having said that, we did rotate the absolute crap out of it. Kepa started. Marino started. Norgard got his first, I think it's his first appearance of the season, which is crazy. That's crazy. I thought he had a, I thought he came off the bench at one point at the beginning of the season, but obviously not. Um, and yeah, Mascara get a decent run. He had a couple of sloppy passes. Mascara is not infallible. He's still only 22, 23 or whatever. And these are the kind of games you want to give him to kind of develop a little bit more. Having said that, I don't think he's putting foot wrong at Arsenal at the moment. But clearly rotational players, apart from Saka, getting match fitness again, and Ben White as well. Ben White, in particular, looked for me like a player that's been out for a long time. Very disjointed a little bit. Him and Saka still need to rebuild that partnership. Yeah, it's the first start for Lewis Skelly as well, which is crazy this season. Thought he had a really good game. Looked completely at home against like grown ass men, playing in Port Vale. I think and Renero had a good game as well. I think both these kids have got top futures and they're clearly squad players at the moment. But I feel like they're good enough. If we get more injuries, which is with the trend this season so far, then they're definitely gonna be good enough to step in when they needed to. Yeah, overall, it is what it is. It's the first round of the Carabao Cup is against Port Vale. There's not much to get hyped about, but it's a decent win. It's a win that we needed to get. I do feel like this is a trophy in particular that Arteta really needs to go for this season. Last season the win, I think Newcastle won it last season, didn't they? So, if they can win it, anyone can. And yeah, I'm really hyped for it, to be honest with you. I really want us to win this tournament. Having said that, the draw's been done now. We've got Brighton and Hove Albion at home at the Emirates next round. Not the best, but not the worst. Brighton at home, we tend to do relatively alright with. They're a tough team, and I feel like they're going to go out quite a strong lineup as well. I think we're going to go similar to what we've done today with this Port Vale team games. But Brighton's undoubtedly a step up, 2 steps up in terms of difficulty. We need to be at our best to beat them. They're a decent team. They're a very good team. So we need to be at our best to do that. And if we get past them, then get to the next round and go from there. I think we were unlucky not to win it last year. I think we should have won it last year. We were more than capable, but we're even more capable of it now. Our squad's better, bigger, and like I said, there's no excuses now. Arteta with his lineup. Even though we rotate in, there's definitely squad B players in the team. In me first 11, should I say? Kepa being one of them. Still first team level players, and our subs off the bench were first team. Gyökeres, Declan Rice off the bench. Arteta's taking it very seriously this season, and so he should be. It's not an easy cup to win, but it's a winnable trophy, and we need to be starting to look at these as opportunities rather than focusing on the league, focusing on the Champions League. We got a squad big enough now to compete, and with players coming back, Saka coming back. Noni Madueke would have been perfect with this game, but obviously he's out. But Odegaard's almost back now, so players coming back. We start getting a little bit more rotation in. And we'll go from there. But winnable trophy in my opinion. It's a trophy that we absolutely need to be prioritising, in my opinion. FA Cup as well, maybe, but we'll have to wait to see what kind of rounds we get with that. That's pretty much all I've got to say with that, guys. I mean, it was a decent game. It was nice to watch it. It was nice not to have work this morning, and I could do a video on it. It's Port Vale away, there's only so much hype. There's people online going absolutely batshit crazy about it, though. As if we don't get enough crap from the media and other fan bases. There's a large portion of the Arsenal, especially online fan base, that are just insufferable, toxic, complaining that we didn't score more. Oh my god, they went out with a really strong lineup and only just managed to beat Port Vale. Well, if you're saying that, you didn't watch the game, because we were pretty much in control of that game the entire time. We never looked like conceding. We never looked like we were in trouble. We looked like we were in a training session the entire time. There was no point of that game when I was like, oh crap, I'm worried now. So if you're saying that we only just managed to beat Port Vale, we didn't need to get into third gear, fourth gear, bust our guts. It's Port Vale away, no disrespect to them, but they're a League One team, if I'm not mistaken. Like, we don't need to get out of first gear against these teams. You know, we need to conserve our energy. We've got bloody Newcastle coming up in the weekend. And, you know, we're going to be going out of third gear against them. So, yeah, weird. There's a weird portion of this Arsenal fan base that are just weird and whine about everything, complain about everything, absolutely hate Mikel Arteta for absolutely no reason whatsoever. It's weird. I have to recognise it as an Arsenal fan. You know, I complain about referees and officials and other fan bases and the media. That's all valid, but there is a large portion of the Arsenal online fan base. I mean, the match-going fans love the club, love the manager, and support. That's what the word comes from. You support your team. You don't endlessly complain and whine and bitch online because it gets you views and clicks. It's weird, but it is what it is. Let me know what you thought of the game. If you watched it, be in sports, not the best to watch games on. I can't get it on my computer for some reason. On my phone, it's a bit of a mission, to be honest with you. And I said to my mates, if we get knocked out of this competition, I might actually just cancel a being because I'm not enjoying it so far. Stan's not the best, but it's still easy to upload, easy to subscribe, easy to pay for, easy to watch. I mean, there's glitches and lags and whatever, as well as there was with Optus, but being sports is really difficult for some reason. But anyway, that's my bitching over. Let me know what you thought of the game, the team, what can we do in this tournament, what can we do this season. Do you think we should be going all out? Do you think we should just be prioritising the league? Because we are dropping down the league a little bit. Liverpool already 5 points ahead of us, and they don't look like they're going to lose anytime soon. We may end up facing them in this cup, so we have to keep an eye on that. Let me know everything I spoke about in this video. Let me know what you think about it all. And I will be back probably Monday to talk about the Newcastle game, no matter what happens in that game. I'll be going out to the casino again, so you're at the casino in Perth. Go there on Sunday because I'll be there having my birthday meal with my parents. They're going over there afterwards, so say hi if you see me. And if not, enjoy the game, and we'll talk about it on Monday when I get the next chance to record. So, anyway, guys, enjoy the rest of your week, enjoy your weekend, and I'll see you guys very soon. Adios.